Hello, this is Angela Batts from LIS 6120, Access to Information, and in this presentation we're going to be looking at online and digital resources. There are a number of online and digital resources that are available, and it is important to gain an idea of what is out there on the vast World Wide Web. Brenda G. Mathenia, in her article A Guide to Online and Mapping Resources, does a pretty good job at categorizing what is available, and I've included that list here. There are virtual map collections, which include a wide range of maps and information, including world maps, such as those provided by the Central Intelligence Agency in the CIA World Factbook, and the National Geographic Map Machine. And there's also historical maps, which include those provided by the Library of Congress and your atlas. There are physical maps, including topographic, air and sea, and geological maps, including those provided by the U.S. Geological Survey. There are interactive mapping sites, which focus on maps that allow the user to interact with the mapping process. These are classified into two types: street mapping sites, such as Google Maps and MapQuest, and data mapping sites, including American FactFinder, provided by the U.S. Census Bureau, and ESRI's Online Hazard Map, provided by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and in conjunction with the Environmental Systems Research Institute. There are online atlases, which are essentially online versions of physical atlases, and include the United Nations Atlas of the Ocean and the Atlas of Canada. Finally, there are gazetteers for locating information about cities and the like. Some of these resources include the Geographic Names Information Systems and the Columbia Gazetteer of the World Online. Next, we might want to consider what kind of questions an online or digital resource can answer. Some of these questions might include: what street or highway routes should I take to travel from San Francisco to Los Angeles, and how long will it take? What countries have made claims on Antarctica? How large was the Holy Roman Empire in the year 1100 CE? The criteria for evaluating online and digital sources do include some of the methods listed in the book. Scale and projection are very important to know how the maps represent geographical areas, and all good online sources should contain information about the scale. However, many may not incorporate how projection is indicated. Color and symbol are also very important. As visual aids, they should be used appropriately, as should symbols, which should not be cluttered. The publisher and the authorities are also very important to evaluate. Does the map source have a reputation for quality? However, with online and digital resources, it may be more difficult to determine the authorities or who constructed the map, as it is not always information that is easily accessible. While place names are important, however, indexing for online and digital sources is not, as an index such as those found in physical sources are not typically included. Currency is also important, and we will return to that in a moment. Beyond the criteria already noted, there are other evaluating techniques to consider when evaluating online and digital resources, and these include the content, quality, relevancy or currency, accessibility, and ease of use. When examining content, it is important to look at the range of the materials. For example, how far does the map coverage extend? It is also important to look beyond maps and consider what else the site offers. Does it include statistics and other information of a similar nature? Next, it is important to consider the quality of the information contained on the site. Does the site contain good, high-quality images? What kind of detail is available? It is also important to look for a map key that may accompany the site's maps, and consider whether or not the key is informative. Relevancy or currency is also important, but with most high-quality sites, it is not much of a concern when evaluating online sources. The advantage of online sources is that maps and other information can be very easily and very quickly updated to keep pace with the changing world. However, currency should be considered when evaluating other digital sources, such as those on CD or DVD. Like physical reference sources, they are only occasionally updated unless the source offers web updates, which will keep the material current and relevant. When evaluating an online or digital resource for use, it is good to note the accessibility of the site or program. Is the internet site free for all users, or is it a subscription-required site? For other digital resources, it's important to note whether or not all of the features are accessible or if they require further purchase. The stability or reliability of the source is also important, especially when considering internet sites, as some may become unavailable for any number of reasons. The ease of use is the final evaluation criteria. Is the site or resource easy to use? The searchability of websites is an essential feature. If the search function is hard to use or if the search results are confusing, the site will not prove to be particularly useful. The ease of saving or printing is also important, as the maps viewed may need to be printed, as is the case with maps for driving directions. Now, to conclude, we're going to look at some resource examples. For only online resources have been included here, as they are more widely used than digital resources on CD and DVD. Some of these resources include Google Maps, the CIA World Factbook, and your Atlas. Google Maps, perhaps one of the most widely used online mapping sites, is free to use for anyone. The site is kept up to date, noting changes such as the creation of South Sudan and the after effects of the earthquakes in Japan and Christchurch, New Zealand. The site also offers multiple views, including street views and satellite views. Google also offers a downloadable program called Google Earth, which allows for three-dimensional and historical imaging. The site also offers weather and traffic information. All of the images are high quality, and when zooming is applied, the quality is retained to a reasonable degree. Google Maps are also very easily searched and offer an autocomplete option. In addition, with a Google account, searches can be saved for later reference. Finally, there is an option to save, print, and share and embed the maps. The CIA World Factbook, produced by the Central Intelligence Agency, is an online version of the physical reference source found in many libraries. This site is also free to use. All of the maps and materials are in the public domain. The site is kept up to date by authorities working for the CIA. In addition to maps, the site also contains statistics about countries around the world. The site allows for searching through either a graphical interface or through a drop-down menu, and includes an appendix. The maps are very high-quality color images that can easily be downloaded in either JPEG or PDF formats. Additionally, the maps can also be printed from the site. Your Atlas, or the History and Geography of Europe, is a freely accessible site that offers historical or political, geographical, and antique maps dating from 1 CE to the present. The site's content, available in 3 languages, English, German, and French, extends beyond Europe, despite the website's name, and offers historical maps from the rest of the world. The maps contained on the main pages can be zoomed in on, providing more detailed images. The members area, which is free to access upon joining, contains high-quality downloadable maps that can be saved and printed. The website's store also provides maps available for purchase in either physical or digital formats. And that concludes our presentation on online and digital map resources. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.